What's up, family? Man, listen. I had to come in here today. Somebody keeps sending me a video. A couple people keep sending me these videos um, with brother mentioning my name. You know what I'm saying? So I figured that I'd just take a break today. We got a show coming tonight. But I figured that I'd take a break today and uh and address it. You know what I mean? If it's beef, let it cook. What's up, family? Can y'all hear me? Let me see if y'all can hear me. Last time I was. You know what I mean? Oh. If it's beef, let it cook. Okay, yeah. Y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me. So we're gonna take some questions today, family. What's up, Nichelle? Let me make sure I turn this down a little bit. I want to adjust my mic. So work with me, family. Let me adjust my stuff for the night anyway. Let me adjust it for the night. I want to adjust my mic. So work with me. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. Let me check it out real quick. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. Check it out real quick. I think that's gonna be good. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, let me turn that. Check. I think that's gonna be good. All right, let me turn that. Check. Yeah, I think that's good. All right. So yeah, family. We're gonna take a midday break, and normally, I don't go backwards, but it was a brother that sent me a video. You know what I mean? He sent me a video. He sent me a video about the brother mentioning my name. And so I'm going to allow anybody to come and ask me some questions about Moorish, because no, like that. Remember that old Roy Jones song? Don't think I forgot. Anybody remember that? That was a hit. Y'all must have forgot. Anybody remember that? Y'all, anybody remember that Roy Jones song? Y'all must have forgot. They must have forgot that I'm the man. Not for real. Peace to the God. The question is, when the prophet came to Baltimore, what happened to Division Street? I don't know. What happened to Division Street? I really don't know. Y'all must have forgot. So yeah, so it's a brother, you know what I mean? Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Give me 1 second. Where the brother at the post that wanted to ask some questions? Where he at? So let me pull it down real quick. So anyway, I'm gonna save the image real quick and show you what I'm talking about. Let me pull the image up real quick. I'm waiting on the brother to come on and ask me some questions, and I don't need no weak questions. I need some real deal questions, because everybody send me this video. But my problem is everybody be sending me videos and everybody be asking this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, I don't see nobody bringing them people at me. You know what I mean? Come on, let's get it. Hold on 1 second. Let me turn this picture. Let me find this picture real quick. Here we go. All right, damn. So here's the brother here that supposedly had mentioned my name last night. I stopped mentioning his name because it's pretty much worthless for me to be mentioning his name, because he ain't never want no smoke. So I'm like, man, listen, man, these guys are just talking. They just be talking. So I'm like, but now, his little popularity has gone down. And now he want to mention my name. You know what I'm saying? Somebody can still get it. He worthy to get it. Sabir, he worthy to get it. Yeah, he's worthy to get it. He can get all the smoke. Yeah, he don't know. Listen, let me play this real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me play this real quick. Give me 1 second. Hold up.
Right? None of this. I don't have to say
So give me 1 second real quick. I'm going to try to play this and see if you can hear it. Because I don't want anybody mistaken. And I'm going to say this like 2 or 3 times. I don't want anybody mistaken that I am being a conscious bully. You know what I'm saying? Like, usually when I do a show, I go so hard that it seemed like I am the what would you call it? The one who initiated it. When in fact, that is the furthest thing from the truth. I only be responding. I be Tahaka Bay is the first responder. Yeah. I work today. I don't want somebody screenshot my elbows, you know what I mean? And they be talking about me. They, you know what I mean? But listen, yeah, said he mopped the floor with that guy, man. Said he mopped the floor with that guy. Why would he mention my name, man? I'm the first responder. Hey, Crip, I'm the first responder when it comes to these frauds, man. Y'all should celebrate me just like they do ambulance workers. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The good people that save people. Put it that way. I'm the fireman. You know what I mean? I'm the first responder. But look, man, he was an embarrassment, man. I'm gonna tell you today why he was an embarrassment. Let me get my brother in here. Let me send him the link real quick. Hold up. I want to play this. I want to play this short clip. I'm gonna play this short clip in a second. Hold on. Then I'm gonna play this short clip while he's coming in. All right, I'm gonna play this short clip right now. Let me see if I can screen share real quick. All right. Let me see something real quick. Bang. Okay, I'm going to share it right now, just so you know that I am the first responder. All right. All right, here we go.
Don't worship no man. I don't do none of this, right? None of this. I don't have to say I'm part of a clique to actually get views. So shout out to my brother and elder James Smalls, because he inspires the hell out of me. You follow me? So that's a fact. And I love him for that, for being honest with me, because if I was in error on anything that I'm saying, even down to the history of the Moors, he have never heard anyone break down the history of the Moors. He was telling me also. So I respect.
So I want y'all to remember now, I'm only responding. Don't peg me as no conscious bully. I mean, after I drag him real quick, don't blame me.
As an elder. As an elder. And if you think I'm lying, go talk to Professor Smalls and actually go watch the video when he came on my live. And I'm going to address this issue with this brother named Tahaka, because he called me today and asked me that I know Tahaka Bay. I want y'all to understand that this brother Tahaka Bay is a new dude on the scene who only deal with Moorish Science Temple issues. He does not deal with history and law like that. Tahaka Bay deals with Moorish.
What gives this brother the audacity or even qualify him to say what I speak on? To say that, did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? What do Moors for housing advocates? He going to ignore my question. Watch me ask it during the duration, and he ignores it. What is your question, brother? Is Moorish Science Temple of America under a civil certificate of good standing at the Secretary of State? No, it is not, because the Moorish Science Temple of America is not under the Secretary of State. Anything that's under the Secretary of State is owned by the state. You need to understand Moorish Science. No, it is not. No, it is not. No, it is not. Moors for housing advocacy. No, it is not. You don't know nothing about Moorish Science. I can tell by your question. No, it is not. You don't know nothing about Moorish Science. You want to come in too? You want to come in? You want to come in too? Show your face, Moors for Housing Advocacy Group. No, it's not under the Secretary of State. Do you want to come in, brother? We're not going to chat through the chat all day. I don't do that, man. I don't talk the words. I talk to face to face. Let's go. Let's go. I'm waiting for my guest coming. Do you want to come in or not? Or you just talking? Do you want to come in or not, or are you just talking? Here you go. And I'm going to let you talk. There's the link. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. And I'm going to let you talk. But you're only going to we're not going to spend a whole bunch of time on this. You got 5 minutes to lay out your claims. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. That's all you get. Because I know you type of Moors. You be babbling and you be talking crazy. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes. And I'm going to respond. You know what I mean? You ain't going to come in here talking that old hocus pocus nonsense. You know what I mean? I know how you get down. I know how you Moors get down. Especially your type. With that question, I already know off the break. I'm about to drag them. I'm about to drag them. Oh, yeah. Here comes the dragon. Here comes the dragon. Here comes the dragon. Boom. Come on. Come on, clean. Come on, clean. Unleash the dragon. You're going to make me unleash the dragon. All right. So here you go. Talk to me. What you got, brother? Do you want 2.5 minutes to ask your question, or you want the whole 5?
Islam, Moor.
Islam, what do you want, brother? Talk to me. Let's get it. Because I want to talk about something else, and I don't want to get stuck here. Come on with it.
Hold on, give me 1 second, because for some reason I'm having a delay, and I'm hearing echoes.
Well, I'm gonna just be quiet and you lay out your premise. Let's get it. So you can chop it up in 2.5, or you can get 5 minutes and lay out your premise. Because I don't want to interrupt what I'm talking about to delay what I'm trying to talk about, what I'm gonna address right now. Come on, brother. You Moors for housing advocacy and you don't know technology, brother? Stop this.
Hold on a second. Let me speak, brother.
Stop this, brother. Moors for housing advocacy, but you don't know technology. Come on, bro. We doing this for real. This is what we doing. I hope you ain't advocating for me, because I be outside cold.
What's up? Long enough for nobody to say nothing. Damn.
No, it's just a glitch. Every time I hear him talking, he talks and it's like it's going backward. I'm on my cell phone. But what I want to ask is,
okay,
where is your proof of operation? Because every time I look online for the Moorish Science Temple of America, the only thing that I see is the certificate of good standing for November 29th, 1926, and that's for the civic portion. Okay. And the prophet started the affidavit after that, and he even said that it was the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, and then they changed the name, and then after that he realized that it was religious, so he changed the nature, but the name Moorish Science Temple was changed first to civic before it was religious. Do you agree with that?
It was never changed. It never changed anything. He said the quote, and I'm gonna paraphrase just a little bit. He said, because the works was mostly religious. He didn't say the works changed from religious to civic or civic to religious. He said because the works was mostly religious.
So was it civic first or was it religious?
It still is civic and religious. It was both the whole time. It was mostly religious.
Can you prove that is civic and religious right now? Explain that. Expound upon that for us, brother.
What I'm telling you right now, the quote of Prophet Noble Ali, and like I said, I don't have time to review and go and get the documentation, but the documentation.
Because you don't know it. Because you don't know it by heart. I do.
Are you gonna let me talk? Are you gonna let me talk?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna let you talk, brother.
The quote from Prophet Noble Ali, he said, because the work was mostly religious.
Hold on, brother. You got the book. Pull it out for us. You got it right there.
Let me say something, brother. I don't want you to cut me off because I'm going to kick you out. Now, I'm telling you, that's the quote that the prophet said. I will bring it up to you, but I know how you weirdo Moor is going to do. You're just going to go over and over and over and over. I already know what you're going to do. So let me talk. Now, when I show you that, I'm going to take time and show you that, and then I'm going to shut you up. And now you're going to go somewhere else. So give me a second. I'm going to pull it up for you.
Yes, sir.
Now go ahead.
So while you're pulling it up, like I'm saying, what I want to know is, why is it that every time I look on Secretary of State, you have all these Moorish Science Temples of America all over the U.S., primarily in Washington, D.C., and they're calling themselves the Moorish Science Temple of America, but they're using the certificate of good standing for November 29th, 1926. And the prophet even said in his own sayings that after that, he found out that what he was doing was mostly religious. So then he formed the affidavit in 1928. So what's the difference between the affidavit of 1928 and 1926?
Let me say something. You know, you just repeated what I just said.
No, I did not.
You just said that the work that he was doing was mostly religious. And so he filed, but you added on that he filed the affidavit.
Right, for the religious portion. No. Does that still make it civic?
No, listen to what I'm saying.
Does that still make it civic? Answer the question, brother.
Listen to what you said.
See, you don't know enough. You know nothing.
I want you to listen. When you say mostly religious, that does not disregard the civic. Just because Prophet Noble Ali said the work is mostly religious, he didn't say all religious or totally religious. He said because the work was mostly religious, a document was filed for that purpose.
So what about the civic corporation that's called the Moorish Science Temple of America? They have competing claims.
Are you going to listen?
They have competing claims, yes or no?
Are you going to listen?
Is civic religious? Are they the same thing, yes or no?
I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to explain it.
Is civic religious? Yes.
I'm going to explain it to you. You got to shut up so you can learn.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Is civic religious? Yes or no?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Brother, you going to listen?
If it was the same, why did the prophet change it?
He didn't change nothing.
Then why didn't he keep the same certificate of good standing?
This dude ain't gonna listen. Basically, let me explain to y'all, since he want to be ignorant. He got his little girlfriend beside him, so he got to impress her. But let me explain something to you. Prophet Noble Ali said, because the work that he was doing was mostly religious, he filed an affidavit for that purpose. And so what happened is that Prophet Noble Ali was filed under a civic corporation. And that civic corporation was filed in Chicago in 1926, right? So by the time 1928 came, the Prophet Noble Ali says, because the work he was performing was largely religious, he filed the affidavit for that purpose, and he officially changed the name. To the Moorish Science Temple of America. Now, the reason why you can't find it at the Secretary of State, because the prophet did not file it in the Secretary of State. He filed it in the county of Cook. And in the county of Cook, it does not come up on the public record. You literally have to go there and request for the document. Now, this is how you know that it is civic, because he filed under Herdsford statute. Herdsford statute relates to religious society. Once you start dealing with society, you start dealing with civics, because civics and society are synonymous. They go hand in hand. So it's a religious society. It's a body politic. When you start talking body politic, you start talking civics. And so, of course, prophets say because the work was largely religious, he filed the affidavit. He didn't disregard He didn't disregard the civics. He said the work was largely religious. And so he filed in the county of Cook. You understand what I'm saying? No, this guy came to argue. We weren't saying the same thing. This guy came to argue. And what he should do is come to learn. Because we could do a whole episode and I can show him document by document by document by document and prove him wrong. And prove him wrong. And at the end of the day, just like Raheem Jones said, he's going to agree with me. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He has no clue of what he's talking about. The prophet never said the organization was either or. He never said it was whole civic or whole religious. He never said that. And when you look at the county of Cook and the Herds Provide statute, whenever you file an affidavit on the Herds, it becomes religious, it becomes civic, because the religious corporation also operates as a body politic. He don't know what he's talking about. That's why it can be religious and civic, because the religious, matter of fact, before my brother come back, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Listen, I'm going to go to it real fast. Here we go, family. Just to teach y'all something. He don't know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? If he wouldn't cut me off, I'd have let him stay a little longer. But now, here we go. Give me 1 second. Here we go. All right. I got you, family. I'm going to teach y'all something today that these people don't. I know these weird Moors. I know these weird Moors. I know them. I know them before they start talking. Check this out. All right, check this out. Here we go. Wait till my guests come back in. I didn't want to get sidetracked, but I'm going to show y'all something. This is why Moorish science is so effective and can be so effective if we know what we're talking about. So here we go right here. This is Herds Provide statute. This is the statute that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali filed under, right? Now, let me see if you can see. I hope you can see my cursor. Now, in this, it says, any church, congregation, or society formed for the purpose of religious worship may become incorporated in the manner following: by electing, appointing, according to its uses and customs and meetings held for that purpose, two or more of its members, trustees, wardens, vestrymen, or such officer, such and such and such and such. And upon filing an affidavit, that's what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali filed an affidavit. You follow me? He filed an affidavit, and hereafter provided shall be remain a body politic. Whenever something becomes a body politic, it is civic. Boy, don't know what he's talking about, man. Whenever something becomes a body politic, that is civics, but it's still religious. That's why Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, because the work we were doing was largely religious, he filed an affidavit for that purpose. So it's religious, but it's also civic. These weirdos don't know what they're talking about. Let me get my brother in the building. But I'm on fire tonight, man. I mean, today. I'm on fire, man. What's up, big bro?
What's going on, Tar?
Come on, man. Man, don't listen. If anybody want to debate me, right? This is what I suggest. If anybody want to debate me, I would suggest that you bring a moderator, because I don't think we should be talking over each other, because I'm going to out-talk you. This is my platform. You ain't going to win. It's rigged. Matter of fact, not only is it rigged because I know more information, because I've been doing this quite some time, but it's rigged because I'm just silence you. You know what I'm saying? Until you act like you guys, and then when we got some coof, then we can go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? But if you really want to debate, let's bring a moderator, and I will mop the floor with you. Let's not just filibuster and talk, because you're going to embarrass yourself in front of your queen. I do this. You know what I mean? I do this. So if anybody that want to debate me, let's set it up with a moderator. Don't come up here over talking each other. Let's not do that, because we're not going to get nowhere. Let's bring a moderator. Let's do it. And I gladly mop the floor. I live this life. But The original people, man. You got all that smoke.
Hey, listen. I'm one of the weed smokers, so I tell you all the time, stop coming for us. But it is.
Nah, you might. Hey, bro. To all my brothers and sisters who blow the herbs, I don't be coming for y'all. I just saying this. Don't turn into a weed head junkie.
No, we're not weed head junkies.
As long as you don't turn into a weed head junkie, we can rock. But the moment that you start looking like a crackhead, smoking weed, we got a problem. And then you should have a problem too. You know what I mean?
So
you follow me?
So I've been following you for a while now. And before when I was following, I was catching the Grandmaster J. We're gonna bring him up right now. And you remember I used to be DMing you like, bro, what is you doing? What is you doing, bro? Like, this bro out here speaking for us, bro, this and that, and you be, bro, just watch, pay attention. I kept watching like all my other folks. We kept watching. You kept bringing information. For a minute, I'm like, okay, I'm on the fence for a minute, but then everything came clear, I mean, so much information. But hey, so I also follow brother Sabir Bey. You feel me? And I get a lot of knowledge. I say awareness from both of you brothers. I say that. I get awareness from both of you brothers, right? So here's my thing, right? I'm trying to figure out, right? Okay, I hear one side. This as far as the religious standpoint too, right? I hear one side from him saying that Moors were not just Islam or, went by the Quran or whatever, right?
Thank you, brother.
And then he shows
Don't give me a whole bunch of questions.
Hold on.
I want you to categorize it.
All right. So then, like I said, I get a lot of information from both of y'all. You come from your information far as sort of more. Moorish World TV, I'll say, is awareness for the streets. I'll say that for what's going on in the community, for the liberation of the people. I'll say that. But far as the thing with Sabir, I'm trying to figure out for the religious question between the Moors, right? I hear that all Moors don't have to subscribe to the Moorish Science Temple, and how he doesn't have to follow, how he doesn't have to worship.
Let me answer the first question real quick, if you don't mind me cutting in. So when he says that Moors are not all Muslim and not all Muslim, brother, he's saying that to make him seem intelligent. Everybody knows that. That's not no great finding. Moor is an ethnic term. You understand what I'm saying? So Moor is an ethnic term, kind of like the tribal term of Igbo, Ashanti. You know what I'm saying? That's like Moor. But now when you start talking about Moorish American, you're getting into a political identity, like Italian American, Chinese American. You understand what I'm saying? Those are two different things. So when you look at the Moor from an ethnic point of view, most people would say that we are all Moors. I don't subscribe to that. However,
why not?
I don't subscribe to that, because when you look at the diaspora of Africa, right? Some people came from East Africa. You see what I'm saying? Some of them came from South Africa. You understand what I'm saying? And so when the slave trade happened, some people was transported from South Africa, even in going into West Africa, and some was transported from East Africa into West Africa. But majority of us was taken from West Africa and enslaved right in these lands, because we are indigenous to these lands. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't subscribe to everybody is Moor. That ain't my thing. You know what I'm saying? But Moor is an ethnic term. You see what I'm saying? And Moors are not totally Muslim. That's a true fact. Now listen, in the book that we subscribe to, our religious book, says this. It says, the fallen sons of the Asiatic nation of North America need to love and the hate, and it goes on down. Hold up. It says, let me get to another page. It says the Moabites from the land of Moab, and it's talking about Moors, right? Moabites from the land of Moab received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to inhabit in northwest Africa. Now, when people first inhabited northwest Africa, were they calling themselves Moor? Nah. That terminology came later. But they're descendants from the ancient Canaanites.
Who gave that terminology of the Moor? Like,
the Moor come from the term Moori. The Moor come from the term Moori, Mauri. It was a small little tribe that became dominant. You know what I'm saying? It became a conglomerate. And so everybody came under the Moroccan Empire. All the tribes blended and they became Moors. But it came from the original term called Maur, which means Westerner, or those that went west. They went from East Africa to the west. So of course, there wasn't even Muslims at that time by name.
All right, so listen. So we're talking of this show is about Sabir Bey, like his pictures up there.
But let me just bring it home real quick. What I'm saying is, he's saying that stuff to try to make it seem like he's intelligent. But what I'm telling you is that we didn't always refer to ourselves as Moors, nor did we always refer to ourselves as Muslim in the context of which we're talking about, a Muslim or a Muslim. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so but when you listen to Sabir, he said that we're all those people when you said that we're not.
No, what I'm saying is,
I'm saying he would say that we're all those people, that the Moors are all, that everybody that you just said, that we're all those people.
Bro, listen to me. Let's look at this. Do you believe that a South African is subscribing to Moor, which means calling himself Moor?
Nah, probably not.
Ethnically, would an Ashanti ethnically call themselves Moor? You can't. This is what Europeans do. They paint everybody with a wide brush. And this is how the term Moor became so prevalent. Because when the Roman came to Northwest Africa, he seen the Moori tribe, and they was dark as this shirt, right? They was dark as this shirt. And so then he began to classify the whole Africa as Moor. That's not true. Moor is a tribe, like Ashanti, like Igbo. It's a tribe.
So how do we know that we are Moors there, Tarka Bay? How do we know that our bloodline come from those people and not from somewhere else?
This is it.
So you know how you just said those tribes? How do we know that's us?
This is it.
Like everybody else claiming to be everything else, like everybody else want to be Hebrew Israelites.
No. Let me tell you something. I'm about to give it to you. If you want to take a blood test, right? And you trace yourself to West Africa, all of those tribes were swallowed up by the Moroccan Empire, and they identified as the same conglomerate. Now, my brother Raheem said, that's not what Noble Drew Ali taught. I don't know if he's talking to me. But the Moor grew out of the ancient Canaanites, the ancient Moabites. You know what I'm saying? All the people went west. Some people went south. So you had the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Moabites, the Amorites. They all come from the same source, but they all not the same people. So if they
all come from the same source, then how are we not all the same people then?
Because when you begin to break off, you know what I'm saying? It's like an apricot and a peach. Sure, you descended from the same source, but an apricot is not a peach. A pit bull is not a German shepherd, but it's still a dog. The point that I'm making is that you won't be able to emphatically say that you are Moor if you are from South Africa. No way possible. Many people just want to paint. This is the European psychology. Paint everybody with the wide brush. Everybody just want to be Moors. Everybody, listen. This is why Prophet Noble Drew Ali makes this statement. He says, he talk about Moors, 2 Moors on the high road and on the low road, right? Talk about 2 Moors on the high road and the low road. And the low road is the Moors that are deceptive. You see what I'm saying? The low road is the Moors that are deceptive. But Moor is an ethnic term. Do you believe that would be just like somebody, a European coming over here and saying that you are all Irish? Do you know you got some Moors that will say that the Irish are Moors too? They want to let the whole world be Moor. Does that make sense?
Okay, I got another question, right?
No, I want to ask you though, do that make sense?
I mean,
The whole world is Moor? Brother, we know that don't make sense. The whole world is Moor now. The whole Africa is Moor. Is that what we saying? Brother, you know that don't make sense. In your heart of hearts, you know that don't make sense. This is why Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, you're not Ethiopian. And in Acts 6, he says, let me explain this to you. I can show you and prove right now. Watch this. Prophet Noble Drew Ali used terms like Moor and Muslim. Listen to this. And you have to listen closely with this. People are being taught that Moors is painted with a wide brush and that we all are Moors. I don't subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to that. Listen to this. He said the Egyptians, who are the Hammatites. So are the Hammatites, they're descended from Ham. Those are Moors too. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali is connecting the families of nations. Moor is one of those family of nations. Listen to this. Listen to the distinction. Listen to the distinction. The key of civilization was in the hand of the Moorish, who were the Moabites, the founder of the holy city of Mecca, right? The Moorish, the founders of the holy city of Mecca. That's number 1. Now we're going to go to verse 3. That's verse 2. Verse 3. The Egyptians, who were the Hammatites. That's a distinction. A direct descendant of Mizraim and the Arabians of Hagar, Japanese, and Chinese. You see the distinctions? The Prophet Noble Drew Ali is making the distinction. The Asiatic nations. Now we all of the Asiatic nation, but they are distinctive families of nations. See what I'm saying? It's like France, Poland. They're still families of nations. They all Europeans. But you got French, Poland, da-da-da. So now listen. Remember, he already said the Moorish. Listen. The Asiatic nations of North, South, Central America. He named the Moorish American and Mexicans of North America, Brazilians, Argentinians, Chileans, South America, Colombians, Nicaraguans, and the natives of San Salvador. He's making the distinction that we all come from one tree, but we branched out.
Can I ask a question? Now you said he's making it. How did he? Where did he get his information at to make that his distinction that they are all Moors?
He didn't say that they was all Moors. Prophet Noble Drew Ali didn't say that. He made a distinction. The Hammatites are descended from the tree of Ham.
Okay, got you.
It's from the same root. You see what I'm saying? But these are different branches. You understand what I'm saying? So theoretically, we are from the same source. We got the same mothers and fathers in ancient history, but they branched off. You see what I'm saying? So he talk about the Nicaraguans. When you look at somebody from Nicaragua, you see them as a Moor. But the original Nicaraguans does look like you. When you look at somebody from Mexico, do you see them as a Moor? But the original Mexican does look like you. The Olmecs look just like you. We take the European approach and paint everybody with a wide brush. That's a mistake, because now we expect everybody to respond to being a Moor. You ain't getting that. You will die believing that. You ain't gonna get that. Like I say, Moor is an ethnic term. You ain't getting that. I mean, when Prophet Noble in one of the sacred doctrines, he said, the Moors are descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwest and southwestern shores of Africa, right? Then from that, he traces you back. That the Moabites from the ancient land of Canaan, he traces you back to the east. He's given a distinctive nation, a travel pattern all the way into the east, from the east to the west. Everybody didn't go in one direction. I can show you again. Now listen, history can prove exactly what I'm saying. When you look at migrating patterns, when people begin to break on, they take on different cultures, they take on different names, and they take on new identities. So the Moabites went to North Africa. The Moabites, and they still got the name close resembling today, called the Moabite in North Africa, and ultimately became the Moori, ultimately became Moor. But everybody didn't go north. Everybody didn't go across the Great Atlantis into America. Some people went south. So the Ethiopians, yeah, they came from east, but you can't classify them as Moor. That don't make sense. Not classify. You can say we from the same origin, but you can't classify everybody as Moor.
See, look, after hearing that, right, that's what be conflicting from listening from one Moor to another Moor, from listening to Sabir, because if you listen to Sabir, he don't say that.
This is what I'm telling you.
He don't say that though.
That ain't what
he's talking about Sabir, so I'm just saying.
What I'm telling you, history don't agree with that though.
Right there.
Huh? Let me ask you, forget what Sabir say. Do you believe that everybody on the planet is a Moor?
No, I'm not saying that.
I'm asking you. Forget what Sabir say. Do you believe that everybody on the planet is a Moor?
No.
Absolutely. That kills the argument. Now all we got to do is source our conversation. So if Sabir says, whether you in South Africa, whether you in the Congo, or whether you in whatever, come on, man, that don't make sense.
I'm not putting all those words in his mouth, but he said a lot of we are those people though, whether it's
no, we are from the same origin. Do you know what the same origin? Let me show you.
I know what that means. I know what that means.
We are from the same origin, but we branch off and take on different cultures and different culture particulars. And then we begin to change our names, change our identity, and ultimately even change our phenotype. That's why I got a skinny face. That's why you got a fatter face. Some people got a wider nose. Some people got a thinner nose. All of that didn't come from mixing with Europeans. Some of it takes on the cultural overtones of the environment of the inhabitants in which they live in. It doesn't take the European mixing all the time. You separate a certain people in a certain area at certain points of time, they begin to camouflage into the environment. You understand what I'm saying? But the whole planet is not Moors. That's ridiculous.
Okay, so I got one more question. So what makes a Moor Science Temple Moor different from a Moor that don't subscribe to the Moor Science Temple of America, like what you on, like versus with Sabir? You know, he doesn't subscribe to no temple, but he's a Moor. What makes y'all different?
Listen, this what makes us different. This what makes us different.
Well, I know what makes y'all different.
Now I'm about to tell you what it is there's a misunderstanding to what the Moorish Science Temple of America is dedicated to. You notice that he always say that Moorish Science Temple of America is religious. And they got this European concept of what religion is. They've been played by religion. They've been misled by religion. They've been suckered by religion. So now they say that Moorish Science Temple of America is just religious, but I'm not with that religious stuff. When they really don't even understand religion. Not saying that's severe, but when somebody make that religious comment, they're making it from the foundation of religion is trickery. You understand what I'm saying? And they say, well, I'm not with that. But that's not what the Moorish Science Temple of America is about. The Moorish Science Temple of America is about is just what I told you. It's a body politic. It's a religious corporation about getting that money. And it's about building and manifesting into a nation. And the only way we can do that is collectively. And so we subscribe to the Moorish American nationality. No different than someone subscribe to a Chinese American nationality because they have cohesiveness. They have culture, they have history, they have principles. You understand what I'm saying? And so we don't subscribe to the term black because the term black is ambiguous. The term black could mean something over here in California. It could mean black power in New York. It could mean black pride in San Francisco. But heck, to be a Moorish American, it's a quality of character. Because there's a history that comes with the Moors, the conquering of Spain, the founding of medicine, glasses, streets, street lights, whatever you want to think of. You know what I'm saying?
What about the regular people that wasn't none of that? That were just regular people like you and me, just regular people.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, you know how you said the Moors or this and that. Well, what about regular people that didn't do? That were just regular citizens.
Well, that happens anywhere. You take today's Greek culture. You know what I mean? You take today's Greek culture. Just because you got Plato, you know what I mean? Just because you got Plato, just because you got Socrates, that gives your children something to measure up to. Of course, there was regular people around Plato and Socrates. You understand what I'm saying? Of course, there was just regular common people around Jesus' time. But when you hear the story of Plato and Socrates, your children got something to measure up to. When you hear the story of Jesus, your children may have something to measure up to. So when you hear the story of the Moor and you subscribe to being a Moorish American, now your children got something to measure up to. You see what I'm saying? But when you subscribe to black, what are you measuring up to? That's ambiguous history. Because if you say black, the whole continent of Africa, the European painted as black. You got people that eat monkey brains. You got people that eat monkey flesh. You got people that wash themselves in cow dung or cow pee, that drink cow blood. You understand what I'm saying? And so he said, these are the black people. But no, in Africa, there are distinctive cultures in the whole continent of Africa. Why we paint them with a wide brush? I mean, well, why should we paint ourselves with a wide brush? My history is distinctive. You know what I'm saying? My history is distinctive. And so just like everybody else up on the planet, everybody else subscribed to a distinctive history except for us. 1 minute Sabir Ethiopian. The next minute, he's Moor. He's the traveling Moor 1 minute, and then he's Ethiopian the next minute. When the Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches us, now, and the reason why I mentioned the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and I'm going to tell you in a second. He's Ethiopian 1 minute, he's Moor the next minute, right? And the Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches us that we are not Ethiopian, Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and last to 1865 during the time of slavery, quote unquote. So he calls himself Ethiopian, right? So, and then turn the page, he'll call himself Moor. Turn the page, he followed Elijah Muhammad as well as Minister Louis Farrakhan. Turn the page, I don't worship no man when he talks about Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You know what I'm saying? But now listen to this. Now listen to this. Listen close. I watched this guy. But listen to this. When one says that they are a Moor, they are subscribing to one thing and one thing only, whether they know it or not. They're subscribing to an ethnic term. And the Moor, from an ethnic standpoint of view, from the standpoint of being a Moor, it swallowed up all the northwest and southwestern shores of Africa and even in the Americas. You follow what I'm saying? Because there was a Moroccan empire. There was something that was called the Moroccan Empire, like the Roman Empire. Just like the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire extended from Rome all the way to Turkey, almost to what we call the Middle East. the Moroccan Empire extended all the way from Egypt around to the bottom of almost Liberia, all the way to the Americas, North, South, Central America. Now, ethnically, was these people Moors? Well, in ancient times, they come from the same source. But because it was a political identity, they were all classified as Moors. Politically, it's just like in Turkey. They were classified as Romans because that was the Roman Empire. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in fact, these people had no blood relation to the European Romans. But they was classified as that because that's a political term. And people get it messed up from a political term and an ethnic term. Moor is an ethnic term. Moorish American is a political term. Let me close with this. It's just like when somebody comes to America and they take the oath to become a citizen of America and they become an American. What is an American? It's a political term. Same thing as Moorish American. It's a political term. And because it's a political term, the numbskull that was here before, because it's a political term, that means it is civic all day, every day. You understand what I'm saying? And so I don't know what Sabir talking about. I don't know history and all that. Tell him come and debate me. And then I'm gonna come with
he been welcoming y'all to come to his feed. He
bro,
goes twice a day.
No, I'm not. Listen. I'm not gonna play his game. Sabir is a professional clout chaser. He's a professional clout chaser. Anytime it was time to debate, that brother say, "You gonna pay me? You gonna pay me? You gotta pay you what?" You know, this brother is still. Listen, you remember he made the statement in that video. I don't worship no man. Why keep on bringing up KRS-One? Why keep bringing up all the celebrities? Every few sentences he bring up celebrities. Every few sentences. Dr. James Small. Go look at my video addressing James Smalls. Professor Smalls. Go look at my video. He always trying to use somebody to qualify him. You know what I mean? Let's go on a neutral platform and debate whatever you want to debate. I will debate anybody that more is not applied to everybody on the planet Earth. And any man, woman, or child said that they have lost their mind. It's an ethnic term. The whole planet ain't more. That don't make sense. That's just like somebody from Africa telling you that the whole planet is Ashanti. You would look at them like they crazy. You would look at them like they literally crazy. What you want to debate, Mashawn Baines? That the planet is more? Come on.
I'm gonna tune back in. I'm listening to the show, big bro.
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying, family. Many people got the old school Moorish science. The old school Moorish science is that everybody is more. That's not true. That's not true. And I will debunk it. And the Prophet Noble Ali never taught that. And for someone like Sabir Bey, who calls himself a Moor 1 minute and Ethiopian the next. You feel what I'm saying? A Moor 1 minute and Ethiopian the next. He really don't want no smoke because he don't know who he is. And just because you can pick up a few books, you can quote a few books, and you can read from the books and go live, don't mean you know what you're talking about. Just because you can pick up a book and start talking, that don't mean you know what you're talking about. I can tell you that if everybody was more, genuinely more, man, this be easy. This be easy. This is why we conflict so much, because we all come from different tribes. But the conglomerate is the Moor or Moroccan Empire that bring all tribes together under one unified identity. But everybody is not more ethnically. Come on, man, that's crazy. What's up, Quincy Robinson? How you going, brother?
GS. Man, I had to come in and speak my piece, man.
Come on, brother.
First and foremost, arise and give praise to Allah, the great God of the universe. Let's make it clear we don't worship no man. You know what I'm saying? Allah is not a man. You know what Allah is, the universal creator. Give honor to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We give honor to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We don't praise Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You know what I'm saying? I give honors to Emil Eel, and I give honors to everything and everything on your show. Islam. Yeah, man.
Let me say this to Queen Lotus. Queen Lotus, if he bring a moderator, I will debate him. I'm not going to yell with him back and forth. I would debate anybody with a moderator. I'm not going to yell with you back and forth because I get pumped up just like anybody else. Bring a moderator. Email me to alkabay@yahoo.com. Bring a moderator and we can debate anything you want. Let's go.
Islam. Yeah, you know, we've been watching a brother for a long time, and he got some good information, him and Taj, as far as law and dealing with etymology and stuff like that. But it's a lot of confusion going on because you got a lot of people that's watching them, and they think that's more science, and they think that's the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I was on this feed maybe about a year and a half ago, listening to him. He was talking about some good stuff, you know, at the time. I actually donated a little money, it wasn't a whole lot, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind. And right after that, man, the brother just started bashing the Moorish Science Temple of America, man. I want to take that money back. Like, man, give me my money. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, Quincy Robinson, Sabir Bey is an opportunist. And I'm saying it with all due respect. He's an opportunist. He come from the radio era, you see what I'm saying? And he had a little run on radio. He met a few notables while on radio. That spark has fizzled. So now he didn't want to debate nobody 2 years ago. You may have seen him on my show. If you want to debate me, you got to pay me. But now he's saying, don't nobody want to debate me in the conscious community. Don't nobody want to debate. The last debate that he had said he whooped him so bad, I was embarrassed. So he's an opportunist. Mashane Baines. I wanted to ask, I'm going to let you talk, brother, but Mashane Baines, brother, I just put the link in. You're welcome to come in. You know what I mean? Listen, somebody say, hold up. I want to answer this, Rob. Somebody say, you call Sabir a clout chaser, yet you dedicated a whole live stream to him. You had spent 30 minutes of talking about why we're not all Moors, and you shown nothing to back it up. I'm about to show it to back it up, but Sabir Bey called me out last night on his show. All right? He called me out on his show. Stand by 1 minute. Let me screen share real quick. Robson. Now, what I want to show is this. If you mean to tell me, right here, when you look at this map right here, right? Let me blow it up for you. Hold up. Let me stop and blow it up for you. I want to stop because I want y'all to use common sense for a minute. Let me stop screen share. Let me get the big map real quick. Let's see. I think that's it right there. So when you look at this map right here, right? And we're going to deal with Africa right now. So Moors are from the northwest, southwestern shores of Africa. All right? Now, with that being said, you mean tell me out of over 60 some countries in Africa, multiple tribes in each country, crazy dialects, that they all Moors? That's what somebody tell me. That's what they tell me. That makes sense to us. Are we that elementary in thinking that everybody on the continent of Africa is a Moor? Are we that crazy? Are we that crazy? See, I ain't with that old Moorish science where we just lump everything into a lump and say it is what it is. So everybody on the continent of Africa is a Moor. Man, that's the goofiest thing I ever heard. And I get people mad because that's what they've been taught, but they don't want to be retaught. That's false. Everybody ain't no Moor. Come on, man. Quincy Robinson there, take it away, man. That's my proof right there.
Yeah, that's common sense. Man, like I said, he does have good information, but at the same time, he's confusing the people that's coming in because, like I was saying earlier, he got to start bashing the Moorish Science Temple, saying he won't even send a nobody in there. He won't send a crackhead in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he got to understand, and the people got to understand. You got a lot of different branches as far as the Moorish Science Temple. So you go on one, it might not be the same as the other. He's
Absolutely.
talking about the Moorish Science Temple, the church. You might have somebody that do kind of look like the church. You know what I'm saying, when you go in there, but we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? We teach Islamism. You know what I'm saying? So he people think, he got all the answers, but he don't. He, like you were saying, when he was debating with what's his name, Brooklyn Intelligence, what's his
Yeah,
brother name? He was calling himself a Moorish American, wasn't he?
yeah. He was a
But now
Moorish
he Moor.
American then, and now he's a Moor. And this is the thing. This is the thing.
More American. He said he's American more, then he said more American. He wanted to change it, but he got it from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali in the Moorish Science
That's
Temple.
what I was about to say. If Prophet Noble Drew Ali was the first one coming here, coming to us, wearing this, saying that he was a Moor, and he was teaching that we were Moors and we need to proclaim our nationality as Moorish American, I ask you, who would be the best source to draw from? The originator. It would only make sense to draw from the originator. But what has happened is this. This is what has happened. Most people have been misled by false teachers, scholars, sheiks, and divine ministers. And it left a sour taste in their mouth. See, most people think that to be a Moorish American, you got to talk a certain way. I'm the first Moorish American that talked the way I like to talk.
And that's why I joined you.
Most people think that Moorish Americans supposed to be in a suit and tie talking about, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali when he came. Man, get out of here with that. And I can show and prove that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was his natural self. And I can show and prove that I'm my natural self, and he taught us to be ourselves. Stop trying to be somebody else.
So Grand Sheik, let's get on the fact that he's speaking about they this religion in there, and if he that smart and he did his research, he know what real religion is. So he's trying to trick the people into making it seem like religion is this false religion that the world has put upon the people when we don't even practice false religion. We teach Islamism and true religion.
Absolutely. And this is the thing. This is the death. This is the thing. This is the thing. Somebody say, O'Shea, she must be that brother boyfriend or girlfriend or something. Listen to this. She says, the definition of what you said isn't proof. You showed me a map, and I asked the point of view whether I think it is possible for everyone to be a Moor. That's called opinion, not proof. What I'm telling you is this. I'm telling you that around the continent of Africa, there is many tribes and many ethnicities. Everybody is not Moor. Get over it. It's just not. And whoever told you that, and if you're going for that, you're just misleading yourself because it doesn't make sense. Like I said, that'd be just like an Irish person jumping out the window and saying, we are all Irish. All Europeans are Irish. Because the Irish is let me tell you something about the Irish people. People will study history and they say, well, the first Irish was actually migrants from North Africa, right? And so when you look at the Irish people, they got the red hair, they got the freckles, which is melanin, and they made the transition from Asiatic or our copper tone into European. And so when you look at a lot of Irish people, they still got the red hair and they stuck in the middle of the transition. That would be just like saying that, okay, we are some of the first inhabitants of Ireland migrating from North Africa. The whole continent of Europe is Irish. Now we know we would look at them people like they crazy. That don't make sense. The reason why that we know that the people in Americas the indigenous people of America are Moors because that was a part of the Moroccan Empire. That's it. That's all. Somebody asked me, how do I know I'm Moor? I subscribe to Moor from my ancestry of my grandmother. I got video of my grandmother telling me that she doesn't even remember a slave story. All she remember is that her grandmother and great-grandmother came, her great-grandfather came from the West Indies, a free man. They met in Virginia and moved to Annapolis, Maryland. She never had a slave story. Never, ever, ever. I got it recorded on video. So I subscribe to being of the ancient Moors. My birth name is Toronto. That's an indigenous name. Get it? That's not a French name in Canada. That's an indigenous name. So I ethnically, I subscribe to Moor. But to subscribe to a Moorish American, that's a political term. You don't have to be blood or ethnically anything to subscribe to a political term. People do it every day when they come to America. My Hebrew brother that just left and moved to Tanzania, he expatriated. Now he a Tanzanian because Tanzanian is a political term. Although he was born in America, he took up citizenship in Tanzania. So now guess what he is? Tanzanian. You see? And so when somebody say you are West Indian, listen to that. That's a misnomer. West Indian is a misnomer because the Moors, they controlled all the seas. This is why when the European came to Jamaica, the European came to Cuba, there was people already there. The Moors had already populated that. He said the Moor is not an ethnic term. Moor is a nationality. Moor is not a nationality. Come on here, Sonia. Show me how Moor is a nationality. Moor ain't no nationality. How can Moor be a nationality?
And we're not bashing. We're not trying to slander the brother or nothing like that. We just want to speak the truth. You know what I'm saying?
He said Moor is a nationality.
Yeah, what they have done, they took a lot of stuff from the Moorish Science Temple of America, man, and took it and mixed it up with their teachings. You know what I'm saying? And
okay, let me show you something. No, you good, brother. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, you know, they do that. They take, you know, like he the first one that came out with
you good,
that documentary. He came out with the documentary on the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, but you're not a member of the Moorish Science Temple. So now you're saying, you know what I'm saying, you honor the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, then on the other hand, you're talking against him.
Right.
That's kind of hypocritical, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I don't have nothing against him personally, but I mean that's you know, we honor the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America for a reason.
That's right,
Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
I'm sorry for cutting you off, brother. I'm reading the comments. Dopest Day say Moor is our birthright. Absolutely, Dopest Day. Now, when this person that say Moor is a nationality, now the ethnic term, you are out of your mind. You are out of your mind. Maori comes from a tribal designation that metamorphosed into a total ethnic term. It was a tribal designation. When, matter of fact, I don't like to use Wikipedia, but for this real quick, I'll use Wikipedia. You know what I'm saying? Listen to this. Let me screen share real quick.
I'm gonna let you do your show, Moore. I just came on to show some love.
Bro.
All right.
So listen, I don't like to use Wikipedia, but I know this to be fact. Right here. Maury Mapoi by Strabo. Get the book on Strabo, who wrote in the 1st century as the native name. Native name. Which was also adopted into Latin, while the cities of Greek came to the same people as Marusi. The name Mori is a tribal confederation. Do you know what that means? This is a fact. I know it to be fact. The term Mori is a tribal designation. not a nationality. In fact, nationality wasn't even in existence during the term that the term Maori was coined. Listen, I'm only using Wikipedia because I don't have time. I actually have the raw research. I teach this every week. I teach this every week. What are you talking about? And I don't use Wiki, but I do have the whole Strabo book. I got the whole Strabo book. What are you talking about? Did Moors use terms like high priest, Moorish World TV? Yes, absolutely. Because, this is why, J-World, because the Moor that traveled from ancient Kemet to North Africa, they got the term high priest from ancient Kemet. No, somebody say there's also a book that said, but it doesn't make sense according to the laws of nationality. Some people say there's a book also say black is a nationality, but it doesn't make sense according to the laws of nationality. How to define nationality? It got to make sense according to the structure of what nationality is. You just can't say something is nationality because you say it. Just like this person trying to say Moor is the nationality. You can't say that. It doesn't fit the structure of nationality. You see what I'm saying? That'll be, I'm telling you, that'll be just like saying, like I said, that a tribe in one of the tribes in Africa, the Pygmies, is a nationality. Which, I mean, that's a derogatory term, but you get what I'm saying. But anybody want to debate me, so the Kingdom of Mauritania, the Kingdom of Grenada, I put the link up in there. I'm an amalgamated Moor as far as many African Americans said to say anyone play it. I loyal joined up declaration. Islam nonetheless. Absolutely, absolutely. But the point that I'm making is, I know I get all worked up, family. I'm just taking questions. Everybody is not a Moor. Everybody is not. Anybody that would say that is insane. But this that goofy internet learning. I mean, these people ain't got no elders. That people ain't never learned from no elders. Like if you can look at this demonstration right here, if you can look at this map right here, and you can confidently say that everybody subscribes to the term Moor, and you can confidently say that, I'm gonna leave you alone. You can confidently say that everybody I want to know what is Sonia Graham. I sent the link out. Show me what the structures to what is the structure that defines nationality? What is the structure? What is the principles that defines nationality? Because what you're talking about is a tribal designation. What's up, Dopest Day?
Dopest Day, bro. Come on, man. Give me that respect on my name, baby.
Dopest Day. That's all right.
Come on, man.
Peace. You gone. Ain't got time to play with you either. Come back again. Anyway, you know what I mean? With that being said, if anybody want to if I make mistake and butcher your name, come on, you that serious? Man, I ain't tripping off that, man. Go ahead, man. Get your own show. That's right. We going hard. Get your own show. Nah, man, you ain't coming up here. Your attitude ain't right. Get your attitude right. Fix your attitude. Get out of here. Get your attitude right. You know what I mean? If I make a mistake and say your name wrong, come on. Put some respect on my name. I ain't got no respect. Get out of this chat. Not for you in this chat today. Now, who else? Who else want to come up here? Who else want to come? Anybody else? Where they at? I want all the smoke. Any questions? Nationality arises either by birth or naturalization. There we go, K. Smith. Now we teaching. Now we teaching. Now we teaching. A nationality. There you go, K. Smith. There we go. Now that's education. Now that's education. Peace, family.
Hello.
Come on, talk to me, brother. I ain't got too much more time. Come on, brother.
Islam, can you hear me?
I can hear you well, my brother.
All right. Hey, I like this dialogue. Now let me say this real quick, since you have a map of, and this is Brother Malik Umuk Yehudi Muhammad Bey.
Right.
If we go back and we use source law, everything, if you look back in the chat, I'm constantly referring to source law. Source law in this case, I would be using the King James Version of the Bible, who is a Moor from Europe. All right. Now, why? Because that's the source of our beginning. So now when we utilize the source law and we go to the genes of Isis 2, you will see, and I'm going to paraphrase, that there were 4 rivers that flowed and watered the garden. And the river that encompassed the whole of the garden encompassed the whole of Ethiopia. So this lets us know a region. But if you look in the chat, you'll see that I typed in, Google the ancient maps of Africa, and you will see that all of it was referred to as Ethiopia. But we know that that is not an original term, because Ethiopia is Greek from what I learned, and it means burnt-faced people, although we gave them the languages and are the original inhabitants of that region of the world as well. So now when we go to the genes of Isis 9 after the deluge, dealing with the flood of Noah, you will see that Ham has 4 sons: Put, Mizraim, Cush, and Canaan. And then Ham, now, okay, let's go into that real quick, because these are your tribes. And from these tribes, this is the repopulation of the entire earth according to this historical, lawful, and historical genealogy of our ancestry. All right, so now Cush is Ethiopia, burnt-faced people. Put is Libya. That's Muammar Gaddafi. Mizraim is Egypt, or Egyptus, which was Hosni Mubarak. And Canaan is, in this case, cursed with leprosy. In the genes of Isis 9, he is cursed with leprosy. Now, when you get a King James Study Bible, you will look and it says those who were cursed with leprosy are said to be Caucasian. So that lets you know that they did not exist in the beginning, and they came from the dark so-called African or Moabite. And then you see that if we come from Canaan, then Canaan came from Ham. Now, when we go and we look at the other 2 rivers in the genes of Isis 2, this is source law. You will see that there are 2 other rivers, the Euphrates and Tigris rivers. We call that the middle, but the Honorable Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad taught us way back in the day that if there's a Middle East, where the hell is the Middle South? And where's the Middle North? And where's the West? It don't exist. All of that is Africa. So who that? Nimrod did. As you continue to read on from the Genesis 9 and move on into 10 and move up, you will see that God established ancient Babylon, which the rock. You will see that Nimrod, a mighty hunter, who is the son of Cush. Ham is his granddaddy. So when we do not understand these tribes and nations on the same principle of tribes and built our city states, nation states, republics to nations.
I don't mean to cut you off. I want to get a few more other people in here. But do you understand families of nations?
Well, I have an understanding of it, but enlighten me from your viewpoint.
So when you're talking about families of nations, we all come from one source, and then we branch out, and then we establish new nations and new identities. But it extended from the original. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So because that's the fact of the matter, and we live in a reality-based world, you cannot go to Botswana and think people will call themselves Moors. That's the point I'm making. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to Angola and think that people will call themselves Moors. In the country of Angola, there's probably 13 to 15 or even more different ethnicities. Even in North Africa, there is not only Moors, there was Hebrews there. Hebrew speaking, which we will call Moors, because they conquered or they dwelled in North Africa. The point that I'm making is that the common thought is that we in America are so desperate for identity that we try to call everybody a Moor. I'm saying I don't subscribe to that. That is flawless. That is flawed. I mean to say. It's totally flawed. Like I said, you can't expect somebody in the Congo to refer to themselves as Moor. Is what I'm saying.
Now, when you into the chat, you will see that I put in a post concerning Lemuria, which is the ancient the civilization, the pre-dynastic Egyptian civilization. So around the world, right? You would be surprised that people are referring to themselves as Moors. In the Philippines and everywhere, there's an international international uprising. And I also put in there real quick, if I was born on mankind, Nasir, the Caucasian, would probably name me an African moon baby, but my DNA would be the same. Absolutely. Now I would also real brief talk. Give me 1 second, real brief. There were some statements that were made concerning Shalimar Bay. Bring the source law on that. You know what I mean? The information that you bring is because that's one of the ways that all of our movements have been shut down is by snakes of the grafted type, killing us from within. So if that's the case, he's an agent. Bring the source law, like I just brought some source law, and also you stated in the video that Grand Sheikh Amir Taj Tariq Bey sounds like he knows something about. Bring the elder, because we can make that happen. We can easily make that happen, and also give us that information from the temple, because it's mind, body. If I'm laying up in the hospital or hospice and the machine is breathing for me, I'm brain dead.
Brother,
they're three distinct groups. It's the school, it's the civics, and religion.
I got to get other people on, brother. But let me say this, brother. I appreciate you, brother. And we're going to do another show because I see this of great interest, and we're going to do it again. So stay tuned, brother. We do this during the day, and we deal with the craziness during the evening, if you will. All right? I appreciate you. And Dopest Day, I didn't kick you out, brother. It was that I didn't like how you came sideways. But with that being said, you're always welcome. But now let me say this. I want to say before my next guest speak. What I'm trying to say is that most Moors has painted everybody with a wide brush. When we just heard my brother say that the whole of Africa was described as Ethiopia, that was because the European painted the whole of Africa with a wide brush. I don't subscribe to painting us with a wide brush. That's not my thing. Now, another thing I don't subscribe to is just chopping up lessons. My lessons is about us unifying and moving forward as a nation, to bringing out the God in me and you bringing out the God or goddess in you, and we move as gods and build this physical nation. So I don't chop up lessons. I'm a member of the temple. I deal with civics that's practical. I deal with building that's real. And I just don't internet chop up lessons. No problem with talking and going over. I love a debate, but where do we start talking about the Bible and the 5 rivers? And I'm really not into that thing. I'm really not. because I've come to see that that's where the division lies at. If we can get the building and getting some money together, and you bringing out the God in you, I'm bringing out the God in me, let's get it. That's where I'm at. But with that being said, we got Killer B, the Witchfinder General in the building. What up with you?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Brother, I got the sword out. Don't come for me. Don't come for me.
Yeah, man. I've been watching you for a while, man. Ever since I was back in the day and stuff, we was going at you in the tour nights and stuff. Right. I don't know if you remember me from way back then. But I'm all out of that stuff now. I know I probably said some crazy stuff to you and stuff. I apologize for all that. I'm officially
man, I appreciate that.
And yeah, and the first time I really got to speak to you, we got off on the wrong foot. I don't know if you remember on Facebook. I'm your Gad Mashapatnya on Facebook. I put up that video on the history of the Moors, and I wanted you to review it. And
I'm like, man, I ain't got time for that.
But from this listening for this little while today, I learned a lot by some of the things you said. So I got some questions. I'm not trying to go at you that.
Brother, I want you to ask me the hard questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. But I want everybody to know, those who are listening, I want everybody to know that I'm not going to bring a source at this time because it's off the cuff. But anything that I say, I can bring source to back up what I'm talking. But
right on. So I heard like some of the things that I was saying. Now I heard you say about the sub-Saharan Africans,
right?
How they could be considered Moors,
right?
I found that was interesting that you said that. For what I've been finding out from my research is that the Moorish Empire, like you hear a lot of Moors and stuff saying Moor means black. The real Moors is black. We ruled Europe. We ruled Morocco and all this stuff, right? But for my research, I've learned that it was Berbers and Arabs that ran the Moorish Empire in Morocco. And where you see the black face in the Moorish Empire, there are as servants and soldiers, right, where they're taken from the sub-Saharan and brought to North Africa as slaves. So I hear a lot of people talking about, oh, we was kings, Moorish kings and all this stuff. And the pictures that they put up are pictures of these so-called Moors, but they're mythological people. Right. Like they will put up a picture and really it's so-called Balthazar, one of the wise men that are in the Bible that came to see Jesus. And this pictures, you know what I mean? It's like a made-up image. Right. And they're saying, oh, this was us. And them not actually knowing the history behind the art that we see of Moors.
Right. So let me test that real quick. So before the coming of the Europeans, see, a lot of times people don't know how to categorize the time periods. So within the 1st century, right? When you're talking about Strabo, when he came to the land and the people were called Moori, you know. But even before then, North Africa had already been conquered by the Roman Empire. You follow what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They was already conquered. And so when people are talking about the resurgence of the Moors when they conquered Spain, but North Africa had already been conquered. And when they conquered it, they actually made the original Mauritania a province of the Roman Empire. You follow me?
Okay.
Now. So this is where people get it mixed up at. Because when the Europeans conquered North Africa and they took Mauritania, it's kind of like when you look at Florida, for example. Miami didn't change its name. Miami was there before the Europeans came. Toronto in Canada didn't change its name. It was there before the French came.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Tallahassee. These names had already been there. But the same thing with Mauritania. But it was in North Africa, not so much West Africa. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, but when they conquered before the 1st century AD, They had conquered the whole North Africa.
Right.
And what they did was when they conquered, you know what the first thing they do? They get the women. So this is where you get the pale skin or the light olive Berber from.
All right, now check this out, right? You familiar with the Canary Islands?
Absolutely.
All right. Now there was some research done. There were the people, they called them Guanaches or something like that were from the Canary Islands. Now, they got paintings of the Spanish or the Portuguese or something, bringing them to Queen Isabella, and they look Caucasian. Now, from my research, it says that these people were a good specimen to do research on because they were untouched by the slave trades and all that stuff. And it said that their DNA was not the DNA of the sub-Saharan African. That they had their own special. I'm not too big on DNA and all that.
I hear what you're saying. But I got Dope's day back. But what I wanted to say is I want to be clear about North Africa first before we get into the Canary Islands.
Right. The reason I use that is because that they're considered Berbers. They said their DNA matches the Berbers.
Absolutely.
Now, these people were here untouched. And just like the people we see in the art and stuff in ancient Libya and in Egypt, these people were light-skinned people. Not saying they were Caucasian, but they were people of a light complexion.
But we got to remember that they were conquered. Now, the Canary Islands is a separate case study. But North Africa was already conquered. That's how it got pale. They were already conquered in BC times. You understand they had already been conquered by the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire swept all through Libya, Egypt, all the way to Turkey.
But you look at the Libyans on the wall of Egypt, the Libyans is white. And this is way before the Roman Empire.
No. When you look at the conquering of the Roman Empire, and we can do a case study and we can compare timestamps. When you look at that, when you started looking at the pale skinned people on the walls of Kemet, at that time you're starting to deal with Alexandria, and you start to deal with the Roman rule of ancient Kemet and modern Kemet, if you will. But that's another case study. But the thing I want to get to about the Moors, because we can go case by case by case, that the North Africa had already been what you called whitewash in BC times. You understand what I'm saying? It had already been whitewashed. And so when you start talking about the Moors, quote unquote, that ruled England, if you will, in Germany, if you will, that happened way before the whitewashing of North Africa. You see what I'm saying?
I wouldn't agree on them ruling Europe because I don't see any African people that was in rulership. Now, there were people that they call black, but when you go to the use of the word at that time, it's not meaning your complexion. It can mean your
but you gotta understand the way that we use black now is not the way that it was used back then. Nobody was called black back then.
Right.
They were all called Moors, and they had a variation of Moor. You know what I mean? We use M-O-O-R. You got the M-A-U-R. You got the M-O-A-R. You know what I'm saying? It's different variation of the term, but they all was referring to the dark olive people of North Africa. That's right. That's right.
So I would ask you, with the Moorish Science Temple of America, with Noble Jew Ali telling the black people of America that they are Moors.
Right.
Now, we know that the majority of the slaves that left Africa came from the Congo. And a very, very small fraction of slaves actually came to the United States. The United States had some of the least amount of slaves. But the majority of the slaves and the majority that came into the Americas were of the Congo sub-Saharan descent.
Let me say this to you. Majority of the slaves in America came from the Americas.
Nah, we don't got. That's a whole other thing. Now, I agree. Now, I did a video the other day. You should check it out. And what I found that in Delaware, they talk about the Delaware Moor, right? That they describe these people. And
what I'm trying to say is this, bro. I got a few other people got to come in, but we can get into this conversation again. I ain't mean to go all this long, man. I got some things I got to do. But let me tell you, brother, I welcome you on the show, and we can have this dialogue again real soon. You feel me? Let me get my brother Dopest Day in. I think I'm ruining his name. I hope he don't go crazy on me, so I'm going to kick him out again. You know what I'm saying? But,
you crazy, man. You crazy.
Nah, man, because I be doing too much, brother.
Man, you know, it's all respect and love. You know, I'll just have to jab you real quick. Bye.
What I'm saying is, I got so many people going on. You know, when we started, they was attacking from all angles. You know what I'm saying? So
I got your back, though. I got your back.
I'm banging them. You know,
turn around and punch me when I got your back.
But brother Killer B, I think we can do this again, brother. I hope you can email me or message me, and we can get a topic base, because I like to show and prove everything that I talk about.
Right on.
I don't like to just freestyle talking. You know what I mean? It's really not beneficial for real.
I thank you for having me on. I appreciate it, brother. I always thought you was you seem like a really good guy and stuff. You got good spirit, and just keep doing that, man. Keep doing it. It's a lot of fun dealing with you. All right.
All right, my brother. Appreciate you, man. I'm glad we're having this conversation. We haven't had this conversation in a minute, and I know many people. So I got my big bro, Rags Bay, in the building. But hold up, brother. Let me get my brother Day on real quick, and then I get to you. Come on, brother Day. Let's get it. What you talking about, brother?
All right. So, in reference to what y'all were talking about, I wanted you guys to look at some maps. Pre-1700s, 1600s, when before all the names that we know today were put on the land masses. So I have a map called the Antique Map of North America, and it's called America Septentrionalis or something like that, and it'll give you the kingdoms, if you will, that were operating in this land. For example, the Kingdom of Morocco, or the Kingdom of Mauritania, the Kingdom of Granada, the French kingdoms, the Spanish kingdoms, etc., all the way up and down the Americas. So when we're dealing on that level, we got to understand a few things. What is considered an empire, under the empire, and what's considered, operating within the kingdoms. So you got to remember, and I always reference the Game of Thrones because a lot of people like to watch fantasy. A lot of people ran by the names of their houses as where they came from, like we use nationality today. So if I was from the house of David or the house of Taharka, that would be my representation in other lands. But within that, we have our own name. So we got to understand, within the kingdom, in an empire, not everybody's going to go up under the same names while you're within that. But outside of it, you're going to be like, okay, you're a part of the Moroccan Empire, or you're this or that. That shows your kinship or how you moor yourself to the land. So that right there in itself solves the questions of how, where, when, and where. Because when and I wanted you to say this verbatim, because I don't know the quote, but our prophet came to the Moors of North America. It didn't say the Moors of Nigeria. Right, it didn't say the Moors of Europe. It said he came to the Moors of America with a message to uplift us here. That doesn't mean that anyone else is excluded. Everybody else got their own messenger. He came to us to uplift us in this area because it was important to wake up this side. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't think people understand that many of us was plucked from the Moroccan Empire. And being plucked from the Moroccan Empire during the time of slavery, many of us was pushed over into the islands. And when you look at the prophet's teachings, he says that the Moroccan Empire extended northwest, southwestern shores of Africa, across the Great Atlantis and the adjoining islands. That would mean the Virgin Islands, the Bahamas, Jamaica, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? So
in reference to that, big bro, in reference to that, we got to remember he's talking about when things were a lot closer, when that was called the entire landmass.
Absolutely. But when we're talking about the Moroccan Empire, we're talking about a political identity.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's more recent and more applicable to us than anything else. You know what I'm saying? That they're trying to impose on us, like the whole, oh, they're the servants and all that extra stuff that they're talking about. Like, you got to remember, Reconstruction happened during the time of the prophet. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, and then there's people on record in public, doing public announcements saying that they're going to change the artwork around the world. They're going to change the monuments. They're going to go into these places and change the faces.
That's what I wanted to speak on right there, brother. Are you right there?
They said it in public.
Let me tell you real quick. When most people look at these oil paintings where Moors, they be dark olive, or we would say dark-skinned Moors, and they be hugged up with them European women, that was the modern day, in that time, propaganda. They want to turn the populace against the Moors of North Africa to unite them and run them out. And the best way that you can do that is talk about the women. Show images where the Moors was taking advantage of the women. And so this is why you got all of these oil paintings with the dark-skinned Moors, if you will, looking like they have all of these European women. And then people say, oh, the Moors love European women. Well, that was propaganda of the day. And it worked too. Because
let me expand on that.
Can I expand on that? Absolutely. The whole Spain, the men begin to get heated, begin to unite. And ultimately, they ran them Moors back to North Africa. Or they made them become Christians, Moriscos. Yes, Brother Dave. Go ahead real quick, Brother Dave. Then I'm going to get Briggs back.
Okay. So let me elaborate on 2 points that you were talking about. Let's go to the oil paintings. The majority of the oil paintings in that particular artwork and evidence was found were mainly connected to the French empires and the Spaniard empires, or the Spanish empires here. But we got to remember, France and Spain didn't exist back then as we know it today. You know what I'm saying? So we're dealing with 2 different entities. We're dealing with Gaul, and then we're dealing with something else. With Spain was called something else. But we're not dealing with those particular Spaniards. You know what I'm saying? The Spanish kingdom was over in the Americas. The French kingdom, or the Gaul kingdom, was over in the Americas, and the expansions were over in the European territories. So the pictures that they got and all the oil paintings that come post Renaissance or the post 1700s, 1600s, they're in depiction of us when we had them people in servitude. So you got to remember, we wouldn't always they didn't torture them like how the other Moors tortured them, tore them up, and ran them up to the mountains.
Yeah, let me explain. Somebody said that wasn't propaganda, that was true. No, when Moors conquered.
So let me explain. Go ahead, brother.
This is a comment. Of course, when conquering people conquer another people, the first thing they do is what they call get the booty. What I'm saying is they portrayed it in oil paintings to trigger emotions with the populace to cause an uproar.
Right, and that was after everything was going down.
There we go.
You got to remember, they were stealing paintings. They do the thing. Everything that they value today is what they value back then. The artwork, the gold. They were still trading coins with our faces on it. They didn't know how to put their own representation and kingdoms and kings of their empires and houses on their coins. So they were still trading in our money, still in our paintings and stuff like that. But I'm talking about Reconstruction. When they announced that they was going to reconstruct history in the 20s, this is what they did. They painted over everything to make us look like we were in the servant position when we didn't treat our janissaries. You got to remember what a janissary and a Mameluke was. We didn't torture them and kill them like that on that in the European houses. They was mixing and mating with them. They was their concubines. They was their friends and associates.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta get my brother.
Most of them.
Hey, listen. This is that talk. This is that talk.
But let me hold that point down. Let me hold that point down. Because this is how they get confused and they try to make it seem like, oh, you know, Moors is this and Moors is that. And they don't know that. They don't know what was what back in Europe, because those were our cousins. You know what I'm saying? And we were already connected by trade and by, you know, people getting here and there through the boats. You got to remember, in those times, there was some people that was born into them lands that never left and always thought that that particular place was the entire world. So those are the people that inherited the entire world. You know what I'm saying? In terms of information being passed back and forth. So they being in the servitude position, they gonna write their way about that thing by the 1900s.
Hey, brother,
you know what I'm saying? By the time they got their organization.
I got to get back to work. Brother, listen, let me say this, brother. I definitely appreciate you because you done brought a lot of heat right now. But this is that real heat that Sabir Bey tried to read in a book and regurgitate. You can tell that this brother didn't study, and you can tell how it intersect with the temple. And I don't know if they in the temple or not, but his message is intersecting. It's weaving in with the prophet lessons. This is why I'm telling you, when people start talking about the temple is religious, they put in the connotation of what they experience through religion. They don't know nothing about Moorish science. They don't know nothing about Moorish science.
Exactly.
Whether you're in the temple or not, your lessons will agree with the universal lessons.
Absolutely.
Whether you are in the temple or not, you don't have to condemn the temple to tell your truth. If your truth is truth, it's going to agree with it. Period.
Exactly.
And if my truth is true, it's going to agree with yours. Talking about temple, they are crazy. Man, you ain't never been in one of my temples and say that. But
even then, you gotta respect where the information is. You know what I'm saying? You gotta respect how people got the information and became the information. This isn't church no more. You know what I'm saying? This isn't kindergarten where we got to speak in allegory.
Yeah, we don't
you got to connect these damn dots and be responsible with the truth, because ain't no such thing as Indians in our respect. Ain't no such thing as a Native American in our respect, because those things are colorable titles still, once again. And then on top of that, we're talking vagueness of America. America is a continent. You know what I'm saying? I had to correct somebody the other day when I said, do you know, is America a country or a continent? He said, oh, it's a country. Oh, we're all United States of American citizens. You're stupid, because that's modern civics. You don't understand where you come from or where you at. That's why you need representation.
You said the key word, modern civics. And the Prophet Noble Ali uses this terminology. This is a new era of time now. And all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live in the nations of the earth. It's a new era of time now, and the way that things are done now is slightly a little bit different than things was done before. But let me get you in, brother. We're going to do this again, brother. You need to email me so we can set up a show like this. I'm thinking the people enjoyed it. Press 1 if you enjoyed this conversation. Brother, how you say your name again so I don't butcher it?
Dopest Day, because I produce those dope beats, bro. I don't do
you ain't send me none. Man, you're gonna say that and you ain't gonna send me no beat.
Come on, man. You know I'll be on your cap, man. I'll be on the top of your brim.
Can you send me something, man?
Yeah, I got music for a couple millennials, man. It's all good, man.
Send me Bay@gmail, man. I'm ready to get busy, man. I ain't playing, man.
Man, yeah, you seem like you got it sewn, man, but it's all good. You know, I'll send you some things from that era, that boom bap, that plat.
That's what I need. Listen, I ain't trying to do with my man. What's the crazy guy name, man? Little baby be rocking, man. But goodness gracious, man. I ain't ready yet, man. But send me something, man, please.
You know what's up, man. You said Taharka@gmail.
TaharkaBay@gmail.com.
No, that's easy, man. I got that, man.
I appreciate you, bro.
All day, always.
Jafar,
yeah, peace.
Jafari, what's up, bro? Listen. I gotta say something. If I ever had a problem in Texas, you would know about it.
Yeah,
I ain't had no problem in Texas.
I know you don't. Can you hear me?
Hey,
Can you hear me?
I want
You can hear me?
everybody to know that if I had a problem in Houston, it wouldn't be no problem in Houston.
At all. Grand Sheik, can you hear me?
I can hear you well, brother.
Understood. Islam, peace and love to all my Muslims out there.
Peace, my
I
brother.
want to give all honors to the illustrious Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I want to give honors to our Grand Sheik, Tahaka Abu K Bay, and give all honors to our sister Grand Sheik, Akhenaten Bay. Peace and love to my brother, all the smoke in the chat. King T was good. I'm gonna be brief, Grand Sheik. I just came on because that one brother was talking about Shalimar Bay, and he was talking about Brother Taj. I said this once and I'm gonna say it again. When y'all come to this platform, y'all need to do the research and the history on Brother Tahaka and the Grand Sheik, and y'all need to look at all of his videos. You need to go back. We've been doing videos for how many years, Mo? About 6 years, 7 years?
Man, between this channel and Moorish World, like 6 years.
It's about 6.5 years. So it's a lot of content. Shalimar Bay, we've been in Shalimar Bay. That's the Moor. Is that the Moorish brother with the white woman?
Man, we shut him down a long time ago, man.
Okay, that's
done.
my point. We've been done him. He's been done. Taj Tariq, we've been trying to get him on the show. He don't want to come. He don't want that smoke. Sabir Bay, he don't want that smoke. I even told Mo, let's pay him some money because I know because this was way back when.
Remember
Mo,
that?
This was way
Mommy
back
was
when
like,
Mo.
pay me. Mommy was like, pay me, and you was like, you was like, I'll pay him. I was like, nah, man, we're not paying this guy nothing.
Because he talking noise. You talking that noise. Okay, how much you want? Because I know you, and I know where your teaching comes from. And I remember I used to follow them beforehand. And so we tried. So I just wanted to address that one brother that had the last name of Bay on his name, brother. This is where you need to be. If you really want to get the righteous Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaching, you see that hat where it says Noble Temples on the top of his head? Yeah. It's righteous on this end. Y'all that come with the propaganda from the Taj, Bays, and man, listen, man, those brothers are not. Now, Taj might have some knowledge, but because look, most shut them down to where they've been stopped their right to travel teaching. That was one of their biggest money makers. He shut that down. Shalimar Bay shut that down when he was coming with the European chick and they doing cocaine and riding and doing a whole bunch of. We've been shut all that down. That's why you think he's been doing broadcasting on other organizations because we got our household in. We done. We got our household in order. Y'all got to catch up. So before y'all come on this show, please go back to all the other. All you got to do is go back and look at all the shows.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you this. Look, before I get out of here, let me show you this, brother. Don't go nowhere. Let me show Tahaka Bay, and I'm gonna put it in there. You know, Sabir Bay was talking about Professor Smalls, right? Mm-hmm. I want to show you something. I did that 4 years ago. I did one 4 years ago, and I did one. I'm gonna send you the link. I'm gonna put the link up in there. I did one 4 years ago, and then I did one about maybe a year ago. Addressing Professor Smalls. Hold up. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I want to find it and put the link in. If I don't find it right now, I'm going to put it in the comment section. But what Sabir Baby talking about? Professor Smalls says I am the best researcher. Like who you? Man, come on, man, you got to be crazy.
False. Yeah, that's
you
false.
got to be crazy. My thing is, let's step up. Let's step up and see what we got. That's all we got to do.
I already told you. I got the venue. What they talking about?
Yeah.
I got the venue. What you talking about? Right here in the H. We got the venue. It'll hold about 110. Let's get it. Both Taj, Sabir, any one of you Moors that's talking. My money on Grand Sheik. I'm pretty, and I got another brother that's out here in the H that'll back. I got 2 more brothers out here that'll back me up with this. Whatever, man. Come on, and let's talk so we can, because we already smashed the falsehood. But if y'all
you know
steady
what?
name dropping these people, we'll smash them again, brother. What's his name? God dang, I keep forgetting his name, Mo.
And I done smashed all of them. I done smashed all of them.
Even what's his name smashed them. Not Ish. Brother.
Sharif Bey.
Sharif. Oh man, that was the debate of the century. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, man.
I want to say this. I want to say this. If Sabir Bey really want that smoke, like, forget the propaganda. Sabir Bey actually had my number. Let me see if I got him in this phone, because I lost my phone, so I got another phone. Let me see something.
Sabir be bull corner. They be bull corner.
No, man, he be clout chaser. He be clout
bull corner, man. But really though, Grand, that's all I wanted. I be like, you know, I don't like to interrupt the wisdom. It's just I wanted to address when people get to talking about bring receipts and all that. Look, bro, bro, you got to go back to all the videos. We'd have been smashed all this because our house was out of order. Like, he ain't gonna answer.
He looking.
He ain't gonna answer.
Oh, he trying to get some clout.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Look. Please try your call again later. Goodbye.
You don't want that smoke. You don't want that smoke.
And then the phone hang up by itself. And then it hang up by itself. Come on. Whatever that being said, y'all can send this to Sabir Bey. But my thing is, I don't want to go back and forth because I don't even want to say your name for real. Because you're a fallen star. You know what I mean? You ain't hot no more. You know
no, they're not. No,
you ain't
they're
hot.
not.
You know what I'm saying?
But, because we finally got. I'm sorry to cut you short. We finally got our house. See, that's what I keep trying to tell these people. Our house was out of order so bad like 3 years ago. It was crazy. So Mo dedicated all of his time to clean house.
And look, let me tell you this. My thing is this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put one video in here. My thing is this, that I don't want to do all the talking. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you this. Watch it.
Is your agent?
Watch this.
Website builder.
Anybody that doubt. Let me show y'all something.
You do that.
Watch this. I didn't already did this. Let me show y'all something. So anybody keeps sending me videos about Sabir Bey, I didn't already did this. This was 2016. Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's old.
Anybody else? They don't know. See, everybody want to fight everybody. We ain't got nothing. After the shadow of your bush. Be in the temple. You should only be in the temple on Friday to get your neck. So look, put yourself. I'm gonna put this link in there. Ask him, brother. I'm gonna ask the brother tonight. I'm gonna ask him in a few minutes. Let me ask him. So listen, this is old news. Why is he mentioning my name now? He already got that smoke so many times.
Absolutely.
And he always ran.
On another note, Mo, Grand Street, did you get that Apple Pay I sent to you yesterday for Citizen's Born Day?
Oh yeah. So family, I appreciate you. Yeah, matter of fact, I seen it this morning, but I had to rush and take my car to the shop. But anyway, family, I want to thank everybody. Let me see something real quick. I want to thank everybody real quick before I get out of here. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. I want to thank everybody who wished my Mobitus a happy birthday. We had a nice time. You know what I mean? I was chilling with the queen on the sea. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's my baby. That's my baby. That's my baby. But thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. I seen it this morning. And I got so busy I wasn't able to hit you up and thank you. But I definitely, now I do. I thank you, my brother, and she do to you. But that's my baby.
Well, look, man, shit, I gotta eat, man, because I gotta go to work, man. So
I gotta get out of here too, man. I done spent too much time up here. Peace and love.
Peace and love, man.
But family, that's my baby. Let me stop. Listen, family. This is what it's all about at the end of the day, family. I appreciate all of y'all. You see me crip. But I appreciate all of y'all, family. And I just want you to know, if you want to know anything about Moor or Moorish science, you're welcome to subscribe to our channel 7. I will be doing videos on that channel in relation to Moorish science, as well as Moorish thought. But I want people to know that Moorish science, Temple of America, it covers a whole array of information. It doesn't just cover religious. It's religious, civic, historical, political, whatever you want to call it. It just covers everything. And anybody that says it only covers something religious, they misguided, misled, and shook up and lost. But let me give my brother Dopest Day in here for the last word. Anything else you want to say, big bro?
Yeah. Actually, if you hold the broadcast a couple minutes after you close everything, I'd like to, a couple words. But I sent you a track already, and okay. I wanted to let everybody know that, that their interest isn't in vague, you know what I'm saying, or in vain, excuse me. But we got to realize that a lot of the information that is given to us, we got to really understand that we got to let a lot of things go. We got to let religion go. We got to let our modern concepts go so we can develop new ones. You know what I mean? So because that's the real understanding of I, self, law, and master. You know what I'm saying? It has everything to do with the physical, mental, and spiritual. So you know what I mean? It applies on every level. I, self, law, and master, physically, mentally, spiritually. You know what I'm saying? But I want to jump back into when the Europe, the whole argument with Europe and whatnot. George Washington, who is supposed to be our first president and whatnot, his real name is actually Wessington, George Wessington. And he has relation to Adam Weishaupt, and all these people were esquires and dukes of Europe coming over here, performing as representation of the crowns over in Europe at the time. And mind you, at these times there was no England, there was no France, there was no Spain, as we know it today. So they coming over here basically looking for a job. You know what I'm saying? These people did not bring all these pilgrims, which was the lowest classes of Ireland, Scotia, Albion, Germany, all them Western Europes. That was the lowest class bought on them shipments.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I gotta go, bro. I got some appointments.
Okay. But we gotta go nose to nose and really, like, you know what I mean, let it go.
And we can do it again, bro. We can do it again just as long as you email me when I'm ready to do another show. I'm putting the link up to the new channel, not the new channel, but the channel I created a few months ago, and we'll get on there and we teach hard, brother, because we're on the same page.
Can you do me a plug favor? Play that beat on the outro.
Where the beat? Where you send it at?
To Harker Bay.
All right, I'll check it out. Give me a second. I got you. So family, this is the link where if you're interested in learning more, I'm about to upload a few videos within the next few days with some interviews I did. I got some interviews coming. Family, I just want to say, family, if you disagree with me, that's fine. I don't mind that. But, if you really want to debate me, let's set it up. Hit me at taharkabay@yahoo.com. Let's get a moderator. Let's do a time slot, and let's go from there. And this is anybody, even the brother that was from the Housing Advocate. The only reason I wasn't going to go on with that, because it's cutting off each other. I'm cutting you off. You cutting me off. We ain't getting nowhere. I want to have an intelligent debate. An intelligent debate, you get 10 minutes, I get 10 minutes. You say what you say, I say what I say. And we can go from there. We start off, you tell me your premise, I tell you my premise. And we can go from there. If you wish to do that, message me on Facebook, email me, and I'll be glad to have a debate with you. But I don't want to have a conversation where we just cutting each other off. It gets nowhere. That's goofy. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Because I'm going to out-talk you, and I'm going to win. Because I'm going to mute you. How about that? So, I mean, it doesn't even make sense. But thank everybody for the birthday wishes. Thank everybody. Nationality is a quality of character that arises from the fact of belonging to a nation or state. That's right. Nationality also determines political status. And this is why I told you that the brother that called at first didn't know what he was talking about when he started talking about we're religious and not civic. Because nationality also determines political status. In order to determine political status, you must be a part of civics, civic practices. Because he said the work that we was doing was largely religious. That didn't mean that he sidelined the civics. Why people think that is beyond me. It's beyond me. I don't know. So what I did was I dropped that. But that's the new channel I just dropped. Go there, subscribe, hit the bell. We're going to bring some debates on there soon. If you're interested, I'm about to do 2 shows on there, and I'm going to do 3 on here a week, and we're going to keep it popping, family. Salute to King T. I want all the smoke and everybody else in the building. And again, if you truly disagree with me, you're welcome to debate me. I'm open for it. So tonight we got an interview. I'm gonna have a double hitter interview tonight, 9:30. And we're gonna check that. But then we moving on real soon. Peace and love, family. Gotta get out of here. Gotta go.